Hey guys, Alex here. In this video, I'll pretty much just walk you through a morning routine and how to fix what's been going wrong, essentially, in the morning. Before everyone heads over to their desk, this is incredibly important. The few minutes that you spend prior to sitting at your desk actually affect your trading directly. If you sit there on your phone and you're scrolling on Instagram or social media or whatever it is that you do in the morning and you increase your dopamine levels prior to your trading, that's exactly what you're going to be seeking when you are trading. You're going to be sitting there, you're going to be looking at the charts, you're going to be wanting to seek those spikes that you were initially getting of dopamine prior to opening the charts. And this is just going to affect you directly. You're going to be trading out of boredom. You're going to be trading out of seeking an excitement that is basically non-existent and taking setups that are basically not A+, right? This goes hand in hand with not having a plan. Wake up in the morning, there's no plan, there's no checklist there, there's nothing that you do prior to actually mentally prepare yourself to take financial decisions within the marketplace, right? You got to keep in mind that you are having a direct encounter with monetary value, and these are values that go up and down and that they have a direct effect on your emotions. So the better that you prepare yourself, the better the plan, the less you'll likely encounter issues where these monetary values are affecting your emotions directly. Also, make it impossible to ignore that plan, right? Wake up in the morning, set up an alarm, name that alarm that you have to follow your plan. Name that alarm, put it on your calendar, put it on all of your calendars, put it on your schedule, put it on a sticky note in front of your desk, put it on a sticky note in front of your bed. It doesn't matter. Just make it impossible to ignore your morning routine and your morning plan. It's important to follow this plan. It's also important to document the process, right? This is why journaling is just so crucial and so important. You're going to want to journal and you're going to want to keep track of all of the information and all of the variables that could potentially affect or improve your trading. And a connection with this is essentially what builds trust. And as you build trust with your system and as you build trust with your plan, you manage to hold yourself accountable a bit more and more each and every single day, right? Having a plan and having a documentation of that plan helps you build that trust and helps you hold yourself accountable. And this makes it entirely easier because a person that is able to hold themselves accountable in trading becomes a phenomenal trader. Now, this brings us down to how to journal, right? Effective journaling for model improvement is such an important key process. And apart from the morning routine and the morning preparation, obviously these are two separate things, right? Your morning routine, your morning preparation are different from how to journal, but journal is a part of the documentation process, and this is something that you're going to want to keep note of, and it is crucial in your improvement as a trader. Efficient journaling is built upon two major processes: collecting information with non-bias, consistency. You want to collect as much information as you can, and these are values that eventually through time you will find that some are more significant than others, that some actually have an impact on your trading, whereas some other values just simply don't. And the second bullet point here is consistency. You need to be consistent, right? If you journal today and you don't journal tomorrow, you're not able to look back at your journal. It's just going to affect your data collection. It's going to affect how you review your journal. It's going to affect entirely everything else, right? How you do one thing is how you do everything. So you need to build consistency in order to effectively journal. In order to build consistency, what can we do, right? There has to be a daily plan in place. So this should include a set of instructions that'll lead you to writing down all of the valuable information before and after every single trading session. Having a pre-market checklist is very, very crucial. It is very, very important. You need to have something that'll start your day. You need to look at certain things in the marketplace, and these certain things need to be the same thing every single day, right? We go back to that consistency. Without consistency, you're not able to track all of these significant information. How am I supposed to know what to improve if I don't even have it written down, if I don't have the proper documentation of it? And how am I supposed to improve if every single day I'm looking to change all of the things or all of the items on my checklist? So yeah, it's also important that this is done before and after, right? You need information that you collect before, unbiased. You haven't taken a trade yet. There's no point in recording information if you're cherry picking and already have the charts printed, right? Valuable information. I'll give you guys a checklist that I use, and this is pretty much what I base all of my information off of. It's what I want to see, where I want to see it, when do I want to see it, right? Analyze the daily and the 4 hour to identify the draw on liquidity. That way I have a target, 4 hour or 1 hour internal or external level highlighted. This is my reversal zone, my retracement zone, whatever you want to call it. Outline the logic of the model on the chart itself. So sometimes when I'm taking a trade, I can either outline this logic out loud to myself or I write it down on a notebook just to make sure that I'm following all of the checklist items for my model before I actually take the trade. And then a 3 to 5 minute visualization prior to my session. That's pretty much it. And I stick to my trading rules, my trading hours, 2 trades, etc., etc., etc. In this particular example here, we have outlined all of the items on the checklist, right? We have a 4-hour swing here shown on the right side of the chart. We have an internal level here shown on the hourly chart, and then we have a draw on liquidity, which is our equal highs. So this is just purely an example, a visual example for you to see. Now, upon market close, keep in mind this is all information that everything that we've talked about so far has been mostly pre-market checklist. This is stuff that you want to prepare in the morning prior to your session. Now, upon market close, let's review, right? Did the market draw towards your expected buys, right? How many trades were taken? How many trades did you take? Did the market move towards the expected direction that you intended it to go, right? Where was your reversal located? What were their characteristics? What could have been prevented? What could have been done better? What was missing from your entry criteria, and did you deviate from your plan? Now, these are all valid information points that you may look to track. Obviously, this is what works for me. Everyone kind of adapts the questions, and everyone kind of ends up following their flow as they spend more and more time on the charts. But what I want to get at is that this is key valuable information that will affect and directly affect my trading and can directly look to improve. Right? How many trades were taken? If I took 4 trades today and it was a Tuesday, and I look back, okay, on this day I took this many trades, and I've noticed that every single time I try to take a trade or my first trade is at 9 in the morning, I tend to take 3 or 4 more trades whenever my first initial trade is at 9 in the morning. But whenever I start trading at 9:45, I tend to only take 1 trade. So what am I going to do? I'm going to look to probably lean more towards that of trading after 9:45, simply because my frequency is a lot less. My win rate could be potentially higher. So this is all information that you can take in, right? What was missing from your entry criteria? Did you deviate from the plan? Did I deviate from the plan? Did I stick to my plan? If I didn't deviate from my plan, what did I do right? What did I do wrong? How can I keep track of the information that I did right? How can I keep track of the information that I did wrong? Right? Or my actions that I did wrong, right? How did I feel during the trade? And how did my stop placement perform? Did I see too much drawdown? What was my MAE, right? Was I incredibly emotional? What time did I take this trade that I was so incredibly emotional at? So you start connecting some of the dots and some of the information, and all this comes together to kind of be pieced together. And then eventually you refine your system, you refine your model, you refine your approach, you refine the questions that you ask yourself, and then it just becomes a feedback loop.